I'll try it. Episode 6, Making a Cake Display. So it is a new day, and I am just getting some royal icing in my mixer, gonna get it whipped up, and then I'm going to carry on piping. When I get started with piping, I like to have a paper towel just so I can wipe off anything on the tip if needed, and then a little paintbrush and some water to wipe off mistakes, because yes, they will happen. I'm jumping into something right here that one of my instructors described as trellis work. So it's a series of parallel lines that are piped, and then you pipe more parallel lines in the opposite direction of the ones below to form kind of like a grid pattern. And you keep on doing this so that it builds up and creates a really classic technique within the world of royal icing. But this footage is sped up. Let's look at it in real time. I'm working on the last couple of lines on my third one, and I have figured out that each one takes over 30 minutes to complete, so it's definitely slow going. Very painstaking process. It's challenging when doing things like this because you're having to keep the line straight, but then you're also having to adjust your body and your hand to be at just the right angle. 4 down, 2 to go. Okay, so you pretty much get the idea of this, so let's speed this along. It was time to jump into flower piping. I have a lot of little dainty flowers throughout this design, and so I'm having to pipe all of these separately so that the royal icing can dry, and then once it is dry, I can handle all of the flowers and apply them to the cake. So I'm working on the body of the figure that I'm going to have in this piece, and so I'm working with rice cereal, and my spatula just fell apart. I'm working with rice cereal and marshmallows, which is a great medium because it gives you good support for structure, but it is so messy. So it's really not my favorite thing to work with, so let's jump into this. All right, so it's time for some experimentation. Things happen when you're in the kitchen, and I ran out of rice cereal. So I am using cornflakes. We're gonna see what happens. In my brain, this is gonna work, but I don't know. We're gonna find out. The cornflakes did wind up working actually, and I just mixed them with some melted marshmallows the way that I would have done had it been rice cereal. So I'm adding the arms right now to this structure, and then I'm going to continue using my cornflakes and marshmallow mixture just to build it up. I need to bulk up this frame so that it looks more human. I'm adding some bulk to the back of her head, the chest, the back, all around till I get it the shape that I want. Now that the structure is as I want it, I'm going to be using modeling chocolate to form definition. So the tendons in her neck, shoulder blades, just kind of filling it in and smoothing it to make it look more human-like and as realistic as possible. It takes a lot of patience to sculpt a figure. It's not something that I do a lot of, so I'm not very well versed in it. So this was very time consuming, and it's just a lot of smoothing. You have to add the chocolate and then smooth it out, and then add more chocolate and just keep smoothing and filling in gaps and getting all of that definition. I am using some aluminum foil to bulk up the arms and just wrapping it around the wire structure. You can just use modeling chocolate, but it is rather a costly ingredient, and so it is a smarter idea to bulk it up with some aluminum foil and then cover it with the modeling chocolate from there. The reason that we use modeling chocolate instead of fondant for projects like this is because you can erase seams with modeling chocolate. Joining fondant with fondant, you pretty much will always have a seam, but modeling chocolate will kind of melt into itself, making for a seamless finish. So the skeleton is finished and her form is finished, but now I'm having to actually cover her in skin. So this is again modeling chocolate that I have dyed to be a peach tone, and I am going to be covering her arms and then smoothing out all of those seams. The thing that really sets apart custom cakes over like grocery store cakes would simply be time. There's so much time that goes into these projects, and so many times in the world of social media where videos are very polished and very edited, it can sometimes give the message that these cakes come together very quickly. But in this clip you're watching right now, you're kind of seeing it real time. That modeling chocolate did not come in that color. I had to dye it that peach shade, and then I'm having to roll it out by hand. And so it all has to do with time, and there's a lot of artistry that goes into these pieces. So she looks a bit peculiar at the moment, so I'm just building up this part of her head because I want her hair to have some good height to it. And so that's what I'm doing. I should have done all of this with rice cereal, but as you know, I ran out. So I am using fondant, which is a lot of weight, but since this is a display, it should be fine. Fingers crossed. I covered her head with a piece of brown modeling chocolate, and now I'm just using modeling tools to create hair lines all over her head. I wanted to have some really good texture, and I'm adding additional pieces of modeling chocolate in the same color to create depth and to kind of show individual strands. I'm having to stop for a bit and put in her ear. I'm nervous about this too. This is uncharted territory. Okay, well, the first ear was a challenge, and I'm very fortunate that I can cover up things I don't like with the hair that I'm putting on. So on to the second ear. Maybe this one will go a little smoother. I love the beautiful movement that the individual pieces of hair that I'm adding gives to her overall look. It just makes her look really feminine. It gives her kind of a softness to her face with the curls cascading about her forehead. So moving on to her dress now, I want her to have a very Victorian type feel. So she's going to be in this burgundy kind of color. So I have kind of a rough idea of what I want it to look like. So I'm just going to jump into it. There's really no pattern to this. I'm just kind of using my own inspiration, I guess, for this dress. It can at times be a little nerve-wracking when you are creating a new piece because you have never done something like this before, and the whole time you're making it, you're very afraid of messing up the work that you've done. And so you learn a great deal of caution, an extreme level of caution that you really don't have to use in everyday life. But I've had to learn it in this world of cake, because sometimes just putting your finger in the wrong place can smudge something that you have spent hours to create. So it can be nerve-wracking. It takes a great deal of courage to create a new project, but one step at a time, it's very rewarding to see what you have dreamed up come to life. Join me next time as I jump into internal structure, and yes, you guessed it, more piping, and as I continue to add to this grand cake display. See you next time.